Okay, Walker, stay with me at 3. More than one way to crack an egg. Solving exponential equations. Warm up. Solve each exponential equation. Number 1. So to solve number 1, we're going to take log base 2 of both sides. Okay. Log base 2 of 2 cancels each other. So then you're left with x equals log base 2 of 32. Let's go ahead and put that in our calculator. So x equals 5. All right. Let's take a look at number 2. So number 2, we're going to take log base 5 of both sides. Log base 5 of 5 cancels each other. You're left with x equals log base 5 of 625. So let's go ahead and put that in our calculator. So x equals 4. All right, let's take a look at 3. 3, we're going to take the cube root of both sides. The cube root cancels the cube. You're left with x equals the cube root of 27. So x equals 3. All right, let's take a look at number 4. 4, we're going to take the 7th root of both sides. The 7th root cancels the 7th, so then that's x equals 7th root of 128. So x equals 2. All right, go ahead and finish up the warm-up. All right, let's take a look at the next page. Getting started. Don't burst my bubble. The newest online game is Bubbles Burst, a highly addictive game that runs on social media. Before the game was even released, there were 50 early subscribers. The creators estimate that everyone who subscribes will then send 3 more people invitations to subscribe the next day. So on the first day of its actual release, there were 150 new subscribers. 1. Write a function using the creator's estimate to model the number of new subscribers P who will be playing Bubble Burst on day T. Use Desmos to graph your function and then sketch it on the coordinate plane. The equation is P of T equals 50 times 3 to the T. All right, let's go ahead and complete a table using day 1, 2, 3, 4 to 8. So let's go ahead and find those values. So we're going to do All right, so let's go ahead and graph those points. 150 is somewhere way down here. 450, the same thing, still way below 2,000. And then 3, same thing. We haven't broken the 2,000 mark. 4, though, is 4,000, just slightly above 4,000. 5 is 12,000, so slightly above 12,000. 6 is 36,000, so up here somewhere. And then the other points well exceed the graph, so we have enough points. So there's our graph. All right, go ahead and finish up number 1. Take a look at number 2. 2a, solve the equation 4,050 equals 50 times 3 to the t to determine what day Bubble Burst will reach 4,050 new subscribers. So the first step is we're going to divide both sides by 50. This divides and becomes 1. Let's go ahead and get our calculation. So 4,050 divided by 50 is 81. Okay, to solve, we're going to take log base 3 of 81. I'm sorry, log base 3 of both sides. Now, log base 3 of 3 cancels. So you're left with t equals log base 3 of 81, which let's go ahead and get that calculation. Is 4. Okay, so Bubble Burst will reach 4,050 new subscribers in 4 days. All right, let's take a look at 2b. Solve the equation 20,000 equals 50 times 3 to the t to determine what day Bubble Burst will reach 20,000 new subscribers. Okay, first step is we're going to divide both sides by 50. 50 divided by 50 is 1. Let's go ahead and get is 400. Okay, so we're going to take the log base 3 of both sides. Okay, log base 3 of 3 cancel, so you're left with t equals log base 3 of 400. Let's go ahead and get that calculation. Which 5.45 rounds close enough to 6, so let's call t equals 6. So Bubble Burst will reach 20,000 new subscribers in 6 days. Let's take a look at the next page. Activity 3.1, the change of base formula. So far, you have used estimation to determine the value of logarithms that were not integers. The change of base formula allows you to calculate an exact value for a logarithm by rewriting it in terms of a different base. First, you use the change of base formula, and then you will derive it. The change of base states log base b of c equals log base a of c divided by log base a of b, where a, b, and c are greater than 0, and a and b are not equal to 1. Number 1, rewrite the exponential equation you wrote in question 2, part B of the getting started as a logarithmic equation. That equation is log base 3 of 400 equals t. 2, Use the change of base formula to evaluate the logarithmic expression using common logs. Round to the nearest thousands. Log base 3 of 400 equals log base 10 of 400 divided by log base 10 of 3 equals t. Go ahead and mark out 3. Let's take a look at the next page. Number 4, use a calculator to determine how many days it will take for Bubble Burst to reach 1 million subscribers. Okay, so let's go ahead and solve this. So first step, we're going to divide both sides by 50. Okay, so okay, that's 20,000. This divides becomes 1. Get 3 to the t. Okay, let's go ahead and ran out of space, so let's carry our work over here. We're going to take log base 3 of both sides. Now, log base 3 of 3 cancels each other. You're left with t equals log base 3 of 20,000. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's go ahead and round that to a whole number, so 9. So Bubble Burst will reach 1 million subscribers in 9 days. All right, go ahead and mark out number 5. Number 6. In 2017, there were approximately 326 million people in the United States. In that year, how long would it take for everyone in the country to subscribe to Bubble Burst? Okay, so first step, we're going to solve the equation. We're going to divide 50 by both sides. This divided becomes 1. Divided by 50 is all right. So our next step is we're going to take log base 3 of both sides. Log base 3 of 3 cancels each other. You're left with t equals log base 3 of 6,520,000. Okay, so let's go ahead and put that in. Which let's go ahead and round to the whole number, which would be 14. So Bubble Burst will reach 326 million subscribers in 14 days. All right, go ahead and finish it up. All right, let's take a look at the next page. Activity 3.2. Taking the logarithm of both sides of an equation. Previously, you solved exponential equations with common bases as well as exponential equations with common exponents. 1. Solve each exponential equation. Okay, so number 1, we're going to take log base 2 of both sides. Well, log base 2 of 2 cancels. You're left with x equals log base 2 of 64. Which let's go ahead and put that in our calculator. Is 6. All right, let's take a look at 1b. So here we're going to take the cube root of both sides. The cube root cancels the cube, so you're left with y equals the cube root of 125. Is 5. Okay, let's take a look at 2. Solve each logarithmic equation. A. Okay, we're actually going to raise both sides by 3. This cancels. This cancels. You're left with W equals 20. Now B, you have log base M of 9 equals log base 4 of 9. In order for these to equal, M has to equal 4. All right, go ahead and finish up 1A and B and 2A and B. All right, let's take a look at, you just derived the relationship of that if log base B of A equals log base B of C, then A equals C. The converse is also true. If A equals C, then log base B of A equals log base B of C. You can use this knowledge to now derive the change of base formula. 3. Consider the exponential equation b to the x equals c, where x is the unknown in the exponential and b and c are constants. Mark out A. B. Solve the exponential equation for x by taking the logarithm of both sides. So we're going to take log base b of both sides. Well, that cancels. You're left with x equals log base b of c. Which, writing that as a change of base, that would be log base 10 of c divided by log base 10 of b. All right, go ahead and finish it up. Let's take a look at the next page. Number 4. Todd and Danielle each solved the exponential equation. 4 to the x minus 1 equals 50. All right, go ahead and look over at Todd and Danielle's work. Describe how Todd's and Danielle's methods are different. Todd solved for x by first rewriting the equation as a logarithmic equation. Then he used the change of base formula. Danielle solved for x by first taking the logarithmic of both sides. Then she used the properties of logarithms to solve. 5. Solve the exponential equation a to the x equals 38.96 using Danielle's method. Round to the nearest thousandths and check your work. Okay, so we're going to take log base 8 of both sides. Well, that cancels. You're left with x equals log base 8 of 38.96. So then x equals 1.761. All right, now to check our work, we're going to plug that number back in. So 8 to the 1.761. So let's go ahead and do that. Which we rounded, so it won't be exact, but it's close enough to 38.96 that we accept this answer. All right, go ahead and finish it up. Have a wonderful Wildcat day.